Yes, yes, I contradicted. I stepped up to him and loomed over him like a specter of death, my gun aimed at his head. You're going to die, Damien, but first you're going to tell me where I might find your cousin. Maybe a nicer person than I was might have recoiled in horror at what I was doing, but I was enjoying myself. To me, Damien's pain and fear were exquisite, an expression of how far I had come. I stood over my victim with his life and death in my hands. As an expression of power, it was undeniable. I now understood why all those assholes had bullied me my whole life until I found my demon. They did it because it made them feel good. No, Damien said, but it wasn't a denial as much as a desperate plea for me to not kill him. Out of sheer malice, I twitched my gun sideways just a little and fired again. The gun coughed once again, spilling its load close enough to Damien that he jerked away and uttered another short shriek. I breathed in the smell of gunpowder and enjoyed the sight of Damien flopping about on the ground, wriggling about like a fish on the deck of a boat. Just because I wanted to, I kicked his wounded leg and listened to him yowl in pain. When he was done with that, I made sure he was looking down the barrel of my gun. "Last chance," I said. "I'm going to find him anyway, so you might as well tell me. Where is your cousin?" 3 things happened almost at once. Just for a moment, Damien's eyes flicked to one side. I heard Azrael, my demon symbiont, shout a warning in my mind. "Look out!" he said, and I heard someone new speak from right behind me. "I'm right here," he said, and my first thought was how in the hell had he managed to sneak up on me? Then I spun about, bringing my gun around with me. It was the wrong thing to do. The newcomer, Damien's cousin if I'd had to guess, had planned for that. He swung a length of pipe at me, and his aim was good. He struck my hand with stunning force, sending my gun sailing into the air and making my whole hand go numb. "Michael Moss is my name," he said, "and I'm the guy you're looking for." Chapter 2. The Syndicate file on Michael didn't do him justice. I knew he was tall, but had no idea he would exude the wiry strength that he did. He grinned at me through a scraggly beard and spoke to Damien, who was still whimpering on the ground at my feet. "Don't worry, cuz. I got this." With that, he began swinging his makeshift weapon again. "Fuck!" I said as I ducked beneath Michael's swing and scampered out of the way. My hand throbbed, and I wondered if he'd broken something. But that didn't bother me as much as the fear of being up against someone like him. A single glance had told me all I needed to know about Michael Moss. I had known him all my life in various guises. He was the bully who had made my life miserable at school, the asshole who had shoved me to the back of the line wherever I went. He was Chad, my roommate, who had done everything in his power to keep me down. Michael Moss laughed as his steel pipe whistled through the air above my head and dislodged the mess of spare parts on the shelf behind me. But he didn't give me any time to recover, swinging his pipe again and again, now with murderous intent. "Not so tough now that you don't have your gun, are you?" he shouted, and to my chagrin, this was enough to convince Damien that all would be well. The younger, smaller cousin also started to laugh, even with the blood leaking out of his thigh. Suddenly, I was back to being the low-status loser. It was all I could do to keep ducking, keep wrenching my body out of Michael's way with a desperate series of movements. I dodged out of the way, ducked under another prodigious swing, and stumbled backward as fast as I could. Then Azrael spoke in my mind. "Get a grip," my resident demon said, his voice filled with disgust. "Have you learned nothing in the past couple of weeks? You are not him anymore. You are a hitman, a man of increasing status, and you took out Megadeth number 4. I ducked another wild swing from Michael, and knew that Azrael was right. Sure, Michael Moss was quick, strong, and swung his pipe like Babe Ruth on a good day. If I had been my old self...